Bitcoin has dropped back below the $100,000 mark, and some people are optimistic, but lots of people are panicking. And I've had lots of people message me and say, do you think it's going to go lower? Because I want to wait till it goes lower to get in and not miss the next bull run. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I think is going to happen to Bitcoin. And although none of this is financial advice and I'm not making recommendations in any way whatsoever, and for those of you who are Bitcoiners who are just optimistically buying Bitcoin for the long term, this might not be for you. But being a trader who's been able to really maximize my returns on this particular asset with pinpoint accuracy, I want to break down for you exactly what I'm looking at, where I think it's going to go next, and where the next bull run is going to start. So sit back, let's get stuck into the charts. And if you only watch one video this week, make sure you watch this one all the way to the end. All right, so what most Bitcoin investors or people putting their money into Bitcoin are looking for is some kind of comforting factors, right? Some kind of assurance or some kind of high probability that we're going to see a bull run, or if we're likely to see a dip, when is that going to likely happen and how long is that going to go on for? When's it going to bottom out? When are we going to see this next exponential growth in this market? So let's just calm down. I'm going to take you through step by step. I'm going to show you a series of things that I'm looking at myself to optimize my entry so that I can maximize my own personal returns. And you'll appreciate that none of this is in the future. None of this is hindsight. This is all happening right now. So you can follow this along, and hopefully by following it along, it will give you the confidence to see that there are patterns in behavior in the markets that we're able to identify, build rules around, and then capitalize on. So let's take a look at this. Firstly, I'm going to show you the chart. Okay, this is the daily chart on the Bitcoin dollar. And you can see right now that we've obviously had our big run. Okay, we surpassed $100,000 and we've dropped back down again. And this is what's causing the panic. What people are really thinking is it going to continue to go lower? Should I wait to get a better price? Or, am I going to miss the next bull run? Now, believe it or not, the end of this run was quite predictable. And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper and show you how I know this, or how you can identify this for yourself. And I'm going to show you through a couple of things that I think are really, really important to predict the next bull run. And then towards the end, I'm going to show you something that could blow your mind. But the reason this is quite predictable, first of all, is if you look at the RSI down here, you can see that we had this divergence. Okay, so while the price was rocketing, we had a divergence on the RSI, which is it's basically the speed of transactions taking place. So we can use this as kind of just an overview of how price is disconnected from the speed of transactions. And that can be useful, but what I want to show you is I'm going to jump over to Forecaster and we're going to look at what's happening with price right now. Now, today is the 1st of January. Okay, this is timestamped. This video is being recorded today. I can show you the date on my phone. You can see it is the 1st of January 2025, and this is going to go out today. This video is going to go out today, and at the end of this month is where I think will be the next bull run. Okay, I'm going to show you the exact day, the exact time, the exact period. So you better watch to the end. But first, let's dive into some of these figures here. So you can see, yep, we've got the overview here. I just want to jump over to the seasonality tab quickly. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring on the seasonality for the current price and last year. But the important thing about this and last year is the fact that we've got a very high correlation of price and the seasonality of last year, the movement in price last year. But what's really, really fascinating is this right here, okay? So you can see that we've got this bearish move down to around the 22nd, 23rd of January. Now remember that date. I want you to make a note, 23rd of January. And then from that point onwards, you can see that there is a big, big bull run. So that's the particular area that we want to take a look at, right? Now, before I go on to anything else and dive into the chart to pinpoint this entry here, I just want to show you a couple other things. I want to show you the Wyckoff cause and effect indicator here. Now, it's like the RSI, it's a transactional speed-based indicator. But you can see even here in these red areas here, right, as we started to push up and up and up beyond that red point, beyond that red area, you can see that the indicator was going down and down and down, right? That's called a divergence. And that means that there's a discrepancy between actual price and the transactional speeds, which I explained just now. And you can also check the speed indicator as well for extra confluence, but you can see the same thing again. You see we was pushing down here on the indicator, pushing up on price. Now, lastly, before we dive back to the chart, I want to show you the COT report, because the COT report is going to show us what the price is doing compared to what the non-commercial investors are doing. Things like hedge fund managers, right? The bank, the institutions. And you can see that when we were skyrocketing here, the non-commercial positions were short. And as they go short, you start to see a roll-off. Now, when we see the roll-off in price, now you can see that the non-commercial positions are starting to go long again. That's an interesting factor. All right, let's dive back over to the chart, and I just want to share with you some technical analysis that will give you an insight into, from a technical standpoint, what's likely to happen next. Now, what might look familiar to some of you traders is this particular pattern here, right? All trading is, I say this a million times, all trading is pattern recognition and then emotional intelligence, discipline to stick to a plan, to trade a set of rules that trade that pattern. Okay, and what this pattern in particular is, not only is this an ascending channel, which typically breaks to the downside. If you just Google ascending channel, you'll see that that pattern is basically a deceleration pattern where we roll over and then usually price tends to consolidate for a bit and then carry on in the direction of the trend. But also they're very, very common in certain markets. So I've been very successful in trading these particular patterns on the dollar yen and even the pound yen. You can go and check my old ideas on TradingView. I used to put these ascending channels and descending channels out all the time as ideas. And if you go and look at how I've actually got involved with Bitcoin myself over the last 5 or 6 years, you'll see that every time it's some kind of compression channel, some kind of consolidation pattern with a rollover. And although I don't bottom pick my entries, I get in, and every time it dips down and I get in at a better price. But here's where it might blow your mind. Remember, we looked at the correlation between last year and this year using Forecaster. Let's take a look at exactly what happened last year at this exact time. Now, I'm just going to drag the chart up here, and do you think this here and this here looks familiar? It's almost identical. The exact same behavior. We had the initial push up. We then kind of start putting in higher highs. Then we have one final high. And then we have a big bearish rollover. And then we continue down until we bottom out. We have this low test candle. And then we rally to the upside. This was the big move. This was the big move right into spring 2024. And basically from April last year, I was buying this every single month. And then boom, we had another one. But look what's happening. The exact same price. If you compare this and this, it's identical. Now, although we haven't bottomed out as much as we did last year yet, we're probably halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way through this pattern. But this is the daily time frame. So let's just say we've got 2 weeks or 3 weeks until this bottoms out. Well, if we go back to Forecaster here and check that seasonality, remember we said the 23rd of January. Well, let's see what date this was last year. Well, this was January, okay? And we pushed down, 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 down. And look at that. The last candle was the 23rd of January. Now, if we look at the average run from the low to the high and check the stats on that, you can see that the average return would be 68.2% return. You can check the monthly and the weekly averages, but more importantly, look at the dailies. You can see if we check the 23rd, 24th, it's 100% of a long position, 68.2% return. And even if I go for the last 5 years and look at the seasonality there, you can see 52.4% average return. And even if we factor in the last 7 years of this asset class, you can still see that's a 45.1% return. So what does this mean? It means that we've now got a lot of confluence factors that can give us some more confidence in what price is likely to do next. As I said, none of this is financial advice. I'm not recommending anything to you guys, but this is how I approach my technical analysis to see when might be a better price to enter. And if I'm going to be adding to my position, although I won't be bottom picking around that 22nd, 23rd of January, those are the points in time where I typically load up a little bit heavier. So I hope that's been valuable to you. I hope you got something from it. And if you are interested in figuring out how to read some more of these patterns and how you can build rules around these things to capitalize over and over again, then I highly recommend that you consider taking either my 30-day trading challenge, which will really get you on your feet in a 30-day period, or if you're really serious about this, you can check out Tier 1 Trading, which is our 12-month coaching and mentorship program. It is absolutely incredible. And if not, then just keep in touch with me. Just let me know how your trading's going, how your investing's going, and make sure you type into the comment anything else that you would like to learn on this channel. Till next time, take care. Have a good one.